When determining the slope of a line when given a graph, you need to first identify 2 points to use. In this first example, I'll pick the first 2 points on the graph. Then you need to determine the rise between the 2 points, or your vertical movement. In this case, my rise is 2 spaces, and since my line is going down, my rise has to be -2. Slope can be written as a fraction, and so in the numerator I place -2. For my denominator, that's my run value, or my horizontal movement. And to get from my 2 points, my horizontal movement is 2 spaces. Since it's to the right, it's a +2. And then I'll simplify my fraction to get my final answer of -1. My y-intercept can then be found by identifying the location where my line crosses the y-axis. In this case, my line crosses the y-axis at this second point, which is located at 0, +2. So my y-intercept is 2. For a second example, here's my new line. Again, identify 2 points. I'm going to use the middle point here and the last point. And first determine your rise, or your vertical movement between the 2 points. I go up 1 space, so that's a +1. And then determine your horizontal movement, which is 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, so that's a +3. Our fraction does not need to be simplified, so our slope for this line is 1/3. Then determine the y-intercept for your line. Again, that's where your line crosses the y-axis. In this case, our line crosses the y-axis at this location, which is down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down at 0, -6. So my y-intercept is -6. And our last example is a horizontal line. This changes things for the slope. Since there is no rise, there is no vertical movement, the rise is 0. And then if I go from this point to this point, my run, or horizontal movement, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. If I simplify that fraction, I figure out that my slope of this line is 0. The y-intercept, though, is again where my line crosses the y-axis. In this case, my line crosses the y-axis down at -1, so my y-intercept is -1.